Hey, this is Connor.
Hey, this is Brock.
We're from Biker's Edge, and today we're out riding e-bikes. This thing's super stable.
I'm good.
Okay, here we go. Let's turn this thing on. And automatically straight turbo, of course. All right, first time riding an e-bike. We are out today on the Orbea Wild FS. Yeah, I know. Ah! Okay, this might be a little tricky. There's a lot of power in the rear there. I don't know if there's enough traction to hang with it. Oh man, this is so much fun already. We're like 20 seconds in. This is amazing. You still have to put some power down to get up that steeper stuff. Oh, do we have to cross that?
Yeah.
I've ridden an e-bike around a parking lot, around a skate park. I've never ridden one out on a trail for an actual trail ride. I've done some fire roads and things, but this is going to be an experience. I think there's a bit of a learning curve to these things. You can still jump pretty well, even though it's super heavy. I'm kind of surprised at how much it just feels like a bike. I've got mine in eco right now, and pedaling just feels super natural. It doesn't feel weird. It just feels like pedaling a bike and getting a little bit of a boost, like you've got a really strong tailwind or something. You know, once you put it in turbo, that's a different story, but at least right now it feels like riding a bike. We've got a good test for climbing on these things that we're about to get real steep. So I'm still in eco. You know, I'm 2 or 3 gears from my lowest. We're gonna see how well it climbs and kind of what it takes to get up a gnarly steep climb like this. So this is a climb that would be extremely difficult on a regular mountain bike. In fact, I probably would have been off walking at that last little rock feature. But with this thing, you know, kind of keep the pedals moving. Whew. And you've got enough boost to make it happen. And it's definitely not full on cheating, because I'm tired. I'm out of breath. So I've ridden a handful of different e-bikes around parking lots and stuff. And the motor on this feels really, really good. There's no real like deadband, you know, where you pedal and then a little later the motor kicks in. This just kind of, you know, kicks in as you pedal. Feels really good. So kudos to Bosch and Orbea on this, on the Wild. This feels amazing. So a little more about this bike. This is Orbea's long travel, all mountain e-bike. That style of e-bike really makes sense to me. You know, a lot of these steep, rugged downhills take a lot of effort to get to. So to make that just a little easier and still being able to enjoy a downhill on them, it's kind of cool. In less than ideal conditions. Oh boy. That's rowdy. Bike just feels nice and stable. It's pretty fun. This is cool. I like this trail. It's a fun bike for it. And this is something we wouldn't really get to access too easily without the e-bike. I mean, we'd be full on hike bike to get here. All right, so I'm gonna hand you over to Brock here for our second lap. Get to listen to him now. His voice is much nicer than mine.
Yeah. All right, about to hit the single track. Second lap. This time I'm going to try tour mode, which is one step down. I felt like EMTB was maybe overpowering a little bit, make me lose traction. We'll figure it out this time around, maybe. Still isn't easy just because I'm on an e-bike. This would be utterly impossible on a normal bike. I know because I've hiked it before. I'm actually riding it though. I want to get it this time.
You got it, dude.
Ah! Let's see if I can hold on Connor's tire. He claims he's going to go full out. We'll see what that means.
I'm good.
Tons of traction on this thing. I don't know if it's the weight or nice Maxxis tires, but tons of traction. Wrapping up my first ever e-bike ride. Gotta say, it's kind of fun. I was a skeptic at first, but somebody who also likes riding dirt bikes and motos, it's in between a mountain bike and a moto. You get that kind of throttle fun thrill, but also, yeah, left here. But also I'm still getting a workout and I'm still riding a mountain bike. Super cool, super fun. I'm a believer now.
Okay, so our last lap was a little bit snowy. We're going to get some drier terrain. It's also got some jumps, drops, some fun stuff. This thing's, well, lost a pedal. Get back in, Connor. There we go. This thing's super stable. I've not ridden this trail for way too long. There's definitely a learning curve for an e-bike with a lot of things like steep climbs, body positioning, especially when things get steep. The downhill is, you know, pretty normal, I'd say. Although Brock and I were both talking about it, little jumps and doubles, things you've kind of got to pull for, it's a little bit harder on this bike just because it's so much heavier. So I guess now just kind of speaking about the Wild, this bike in particular, as far as a bike goes, you know, kind of excluding the E section of it and just getting into how the bike rides, how it feels, like this geometry is awesome. It feels really comfortable. You know, it doesn't feel crazy extreme one way or another, but it feels plenty confident. Cornering feels really good. I quite like the bike itself just as a bicycle. The suspension platform feels really good. It's nice and plush, but yeah, this bike feels really good. Like, the suspension feels good. Nice progressive suspension. It is pretty burly stuff, you know. It's got to handle riding hard on a heavy bike. And it's got to be able to handle me casing all of these jumps on a heavy bike. Traction is insane. We're just gonna go in boost mode here, turbo, so I can talk and not get winded. First impressions of riding an e-bike is it's a heck of a lot of fun. It just makes it allows you to access some terrain you might not be able to otherwise. It lets you get a lot of downhill in a day where logistically, you know, we might not be able to climb 4,000 or 5,000 feet on a lunch ride, where on this you probably could. It's not as different as I thought it would be. You do get, you know, the boost, and that's different, but it still feels like riding a bike. It's a heavy bike. There's a learning curve to it. There's some tweaks you've got to make, but really it just is riding a bike. It gives you a little bit of boost on the climbs and a little extra stability on the downhill. The suspension performs really well, feels really good. The Wild in particular, out of some of the e-bikes I've pedaled around, this one feels super natural. No weird power band, dead band awkwardness with the motor kicking in. It just starts to go as you start to pedal. Then the bike has a bicycle. It feels really good. Nice, comfortable geometry, confident geometry. Enough travel to let you ride it pretty hard. Overall, today's just been really fun.